welcome to Brimwood Farm. We are back at the farm today, as you can see, and our two main jobs today are cutting back brambles and doing a little more planting. I'm also going to jump into the pit and explore some of the massive holes in there and see whether it might be a fox's den or a badger's set. So we'll have a little look around there and we'll just do some work on the farm. Well, down by the old caravan, as you can see, ancient, I found something quite sweet. Little white wild violas. So I'll definitely be leaving them, and there's a load down here, look, and they've all kind of, isn't that nice? It's little things like that I really love, that you come across basically what looks like a big old mess, but then amongst it are flowers and nature. And actually the more you look, they're here and then they're over here, so they're spread all across here, which is really nice. So I'll keep an eye on those, and I might even dig some up over the coming years and hopefully help them proliferate in the area. Come on, girls! Come on! Come on! Let's go! Come on then! Come on! Good girls! So let's wander across to the pond. Again, it's more pond work today, so we're clearing more brambles by the pond, and I want to cut down those whips. I think I haven't got a chance to actually use them for anything, but I just want to cut them down for now so that it is clear, so you can kind of see what we're working with. So this is the front of the pond, and I haven't even started on this side yet. But what I'm hoping to do today is cut back to this tree. So cut all of this here, which looks a lot, but actually once I get in there, it won't be that much. Here's the bit that we've already cleared. Here's the plants that we did last time. A couple of them, it has been very dry, so a couple of them have gone rather floppy, so we will just give them a water. But it's, with that many plants, with 60 plants, it's inevitable that I might lose a couple. But for all intents and purposes, they've done quite well. The frog spawn is still down there. It hasn't actually, let's go down so I can show you. It hasn't hatched yet. It's been quite cold, but you can see it's kind of jellied out a bit. But the tadpoles inside are still fertile, they just haven't hatched out yet, so that's good. They're not going to get eaten by a dog, come on. So the whips I'm talking about are these. So I could use them for something. They have got these glorious catkins, which I showed you last time. I could use them for something, but at the moment they're kind of just making this space look filled. So I probably will just cut them back just for now, so I can kind of, this area looks more clear. And then probably next month we need to have a massive bonfire, because all of this needs to be burnt. This is all stuff that's come out of the pond. Brambles, trees. Now we're not going to obviously burn it here, because to burn it in situ would be really bad, because it's been there for a year. So think of all the wildlife that could be underneath, or the little nests or the little bugs. So what we'll actually do is we'll start a bonfire and then we'll pull each bits across separately. And some of the bigger logs we'll keep, because I would quite like to make a sort of a bug hotel, a bug pile. So there's actually some, you can see over here, there's some bigger pieces of logs there. So we'll probably keep those type of things. We'll burn all the brambles, we'll burn all these little wispy bits of tree just to get rid of them because they are in the way. But that's for next time. For today, it's brambles and clearance. Whew, I'm hot and I'm pooped, but you can see that it has cleared out. Look at this weather. It's beautiful. So I have cleared quite a bit. I'm going to stop for lunch now, but you can see here, we stopped about here last time, and so I've cleared from here up to that line. This is our heap of stuff, and we have almost got to the tree. So this is the tree, and we wanted to get up to it today, and that's all we have left to do. Now, I may not achieve that because I have got a bit of a headache, but we'll see how it is after lunch. It's also nice to see there is some light on the pond. So you really do need sunshine on a pond for everything to go thriving. And you can see we've got some sunlight on the pond. Next time I'll also bring the chainsaw up because I'm going to need to start attacking this tree. The majority of this tree is actually dead. There's just a few little leaves on this end, a few branches that are alive, but I need to bring that up. And now obviously I could do this a lot quicker as well if I had a brush cutter and sort of mechanical tools to help me. But there is something nice about coming up and just using sucketeer's rake and just a few quiet days just clipping away. You know, I'm not in a mega rush at the moment. I don't need it cleared within half an hour. It's just kind of quite peaceful just to come up, have the sun shining, listen to the birds and do it. The other thing is cost. Obviously I'd have to buy a brush cutter or hire a brush cutter to do it. And then with the chainsaw as well, I'm on my own and I've not been using a chainsaw very long, so it's really not a very good idea to start working away on the farm with a chainsaw when I'm on my own, because if anything happened, you know, I'm 2 hours from home, there's nobody else close by, so common sense prevails. I'll probably bring it up next time. In April we're going to have to start burning all of this stuff, as I said, so I'll come up with some. We'll probably camp and maybe bring a few friends as well, so I'll bring the chainsaw then and do some cutting. But for now I'm going to take a break, have lunch, and then I'm going to carry on chopping. So I was pootling around the garden the other day and I stumbled across these guys, foxgloves, and they are little plants that I took out that are self-seeded. They self-seeded in a pot. And I took them out, and I've got about 8 or 9 of them, and I was going to use them at home, and then I suddenly thought, why don't I put them up here at the farm? So I'm going to put them in here in a naturalistic planting way, the same method I used for when I put these polyanthus in, kind of scattered in clumps, and there won't be quite so many. And I'm going to put them probably behind, so they create these tall flower spikes that you look through into the pond. They're wild as well, which helps, because wild species tend to be a little bit more resistant to things like deer and rabbits. The long-term idea for around the pond is to put in a lot more ornamental planting, so hostas and heucheras, geums, things like that, and they will get nibbled by deer and rabbits, but because we'll be on site we can make more of an effort to salvage the plants and save them. But only being able to come up here monthly or fortnightly, I need to put in plants that aren't going to be at so much risk, so the foxgloves are perfect. Now it's at this time of year that they're really putting on some extra growth. So you can see with this one in particular, this growth is all from last year and when it was just sat through the winter, but then suddenly, all of a sudden, you can see this proliferation of new leaves coming through, and that shows that this plant is ready to whoosh away, and all it needs is a bigger pot and some water. The same with all of these, so you can see they're all starting. You can see the leaves in the middle, they're all starting to whoosh away. So we're going to get them in the ground. I'm going to put them in this section, and hopefully they will do really, really well. It hasn't rained in a while, so we'll have to give everything really good water. But apart from that, we should be onto a winner. Now, I've never seen a badger at the farm, but that is a sizable hole. I mean, look, you can see the dogs and you can see the size of that hole. It could be foxes, but they're all around this main, so we've got this lovely old tree and they are all around it. Big, big holes. Big, big holes. I don't think that's a fox with multiple holes. There's the big hole again. There's little holes down here, and there's holes up here. So at some point I do want to investigate. See bedding. more bedding. So I think we have got badgers. As I say, I've never seen them, so I couldn't tell you for certain. Now, of course, the whole badger issue brings on, I'm just going to walk through the pit. The whole badger issue brings on the whole TB issue. So obviously if we're going to have cows here, I'm going to at some point have to capture some of these badgers, I suspect, and just see whether they are TB carriers. And you know, I don't really agree with killing the badgers off, so if there's some way that I can inoculate the badgers against the TB so they don't pass it to my cows, or obviously we have the guy that keeps his cows here, so again I don't know whether he's had any TB issues. And we are in a low TB testing zone, so we're in a low area. I think it's only a 4-year testing, which is nice. But yes, next time when I go camping I might put up a little night camera and see if we have any badgers. Well, that is all from me for today. Just a little bit of bramble clearance, getting those foxgloves in, and then a little bit of a explore of the farm. It's a beautiful day, so I'm going to spend a couple of hours just poodling around here, maybe doing a little bit more clearance. If you've liked the video, please hit the like button and subscribe. If you're on Facebook, please come and join us at Brimwood Farm's community group. But for now, I should say bye-bye.